stop scrolling for 1 second. If a certain number keeps showing up in your life right before something you didn't ask for lands in your bank account, that is not a coincidence. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what it means and exactly what to do the next time you see it. I'm going to walk you through the hidden pattern that so many people report seeing in the days or hours before an unexpected check, a surprise refund, a bonus, a gift, or a random windfall shows up. And I'm going to show you how the greatest teachers of mental and spiritual science, the same minds who shaped the entire self-help and manifestation movement, explained this phenomenon long before anyone called it synchronicity. Before we go further, if you believe your mind has more power over your circumstances than you were ever taught in school, hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because I'm going to be breaking down these hidden laws of abundance every single week, and you don't want to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below with the number you see the most. I read every single one, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why that number keeps finding you. The pattern. Here's what thousands of people describe, almost word for word, no matter where they live or what language they speak. They glance at the clock, and it's 11:11. They get a receipt that adds up to 222. Their odometer rolls to 444. A license plate flashes 777. And within a day, sometimes within hours, money shows up. A refund they forgot they were owed. A client who pays early. A relative who sends a gift just because. A tax return that's bigger than expected. Is this superstition? Or is something deeper happening? Something our own minds are creating and then simply noticing? To understand this, we have to go back to the foundational teachers of what's often called New Thought, the philosophy that your inner world, your beliefs, your habitual thoughts, are not separate from your outer circumstances. They are the blueprint for them. The mind is the builder. One of the earliest and most influential voices in this tradition taught that the subconscious mind works like fertile soil. Whatever thought you plant into it, with enough repetition, emotion, and belief, it grows into physical reality. This teacher spent decades studying how ordinary people transformed their finances, their health, and their relationships simply by changing the repeated messages they gave their own subconscious mind before sleep, when the conscious, critical mind is at its quietest. If that's true, then a repeating number isn't the cause of the money. It's a signal. It's your subconscious mind waving a flag saying, the belief you planted is about to bear fruit. Stay alert. Stay aligned. Don't talk yourself out of it now. Another teacher from this same era, a woman whose work has influenced nearly every abundance author who came after her, described the universe as a kind of cosmic warehouse that is always ready to deliver exactly what we expect, no more, no less. She taught that the outer world is simply a screen onto which we project our inner convictions, and that impressions, the things we allow to sink into our subconscious through repetition, feeling, and imagination, become our experience. In her teaching, a sudden windfall of money was never really sudden. It was the visible result of an invisible impression that had already been made, days, weeks, or even months earlier. So when you see that number, 111, 222, 333, 444, 595, 777, or 888, many practitioners believe you are catching your own subconscious mind in the act of finishing a job you already gave it. Quick question for you. Think back, right before your last unexpected money moment. Do you remember what you were feeling? Were you relaxed, grateful, expecting good things? Or were you anxious, scarce, afraid? Pause the video for 5 seconds and actually think about this. It matters more than you realize, and I'll explain exactly why in a moment. What each number sequence tends to represent. Let's go through what people most commonly report feeling and experiencing around each of these sequences. This isn't rigid law. Think of it as a shared language that's built up over time through repeated observation. 111 is widely described as a portal moment, a sign that your thoughts in that exact instant are aligning very quickly with what shows up next. Many people say the thought running through their mind the second they see 111 tends to manifest fastest of all. So, if you catch it, notice what you were just thinking. Was it a worry, or was it a wish? 222 tends to show up during a stretch of patience, right before a partnership, a deal, or a payment that's been in progress finally lands. It's often described as a sign to keep doing what you're doing, because the foundation is already being laid. 333 is frequently tied to creative expression. People report seeing it before money that comes through unconventional means, a side project, a sale, a hobby that suddenly earns income. 444 is one of the most commonly reported sequences before financial stability arrives, a steady job offer, a raise, a contract. It's described as a sign of structure and protection, as if unseen support is confirming that a plan is solid. 555 often precedes sudden, fast-moving change, the kind of windfall that seems to appear out of nowhere and shifts your circumstances quickly. 777 is described almost universally as a sign of reward for inner work, a signal that alignment, gratitude, and consistent positive expectation are about to pay off, often literally. 888, because of its infinity-like shape, is tied by many practitioners to cycles of abundance completing and beginning again, the classic "money is flowing back to you" sign. Now here's the part almost nobody talks about. None of these interpretations matter if the moment you see the number, your very next thought is fear, doubt, or scarcity. According to this whole philosophy, the sign is neutral. What you do with the 60 seconds after you see it is what actually shapes the outcome, the teaching behind the sign. A teacher known for popularizing techniques around imagination and mental revision taught something incredibly relevant here. He explained that the feeling of already having what you want, held with calm certainty, especially in the relaxed state right before sleep, is what actually convinces the subconscious mind that the desire is already fact. Once the subconscious accepts something as fact, he taught, it must find a way to express it in the physical world, because the subconscious does not distinguish between an imagined reality that feels true and a real one. Under that framework, the number sequence you keep seeing isn't magic on its own. It's evidence that an earlier act of imagination, a moment where you genuinely felt wealthy, secure, relieved, or grateful, has been accepted by your subconscious and is now working its way into physical form. The number is simply the checkpoint. The real cause happened earlier, in a quiet, often unremarkable moment where you allowed yourself to feel abundant instead of afraid. A physicist widely quoted, sometimes accurately, sometimes not, in this space, is often associated with the idea that everything, at its root, is frequency and vibration, and that to understand the universe, you have to think in terms of energy rather than solid matter. Whether or not every quote attributed to him is authentic, the underlying idea has become a cornerstone of this whole community, that your dominant emotional frequency, not just your words, is what the universe, or your subconscious mind, or your energetic field is actually responding to. Try this with me. Right now, wherever you are, place one hand on your chest and just breathe for 3 seconds. Now silently think the words, I am safe, I am provided for. Money moves toward me easily. Notice if that feels true, or if it feels like a lie you're forcing yourself to believe. That gap between the words and how true they actually feel in your body is exactly what these teachers spent their lives trying to help people close. That is the real work behind every number sequence you've ever seen. A simple daily exercise. Here is a practice you can start tonight, inspired directly by this lineage of teachers. Before you fall asleep, spend 3 to 5 minutes imagining a specific scene that implies the money has already arrived. Not abstract wealth, a specific scene. Maybe it's you checking your banking app and seeing a number you didn't expect. Maybe it's you calmly paying a bill in full, without a flicker of stress. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the calm. Let that feeling be as real as you can make it, right there in the seconds before sleep. Then, during your day, when you notice a repeating number, instead of asking, "Is this a sign?" ask a better question. What am I feeling right now? And is it a feeling I want to multiply? If the feeling is good, anchor it. Say a quiet thank you, as if the money is already on its way. If the feeling is fear, gently redirect. Remind yourself of the scene you imagined the night before. This single habit, pairing the number sequence with a conscious redirection toward gratitude and calm expectation, is, according to this entire tradition, the actual mechanism that turns a sign into a result. I want you to try something with me right now. In the comments, write the exact time or number sequence you see most often. And right underneath it, write one word for how you usually feel when you see it. We're going to start noticing a pattern together, and I promise you, reading through hundreds of comments on videos like this, the pattern is always the same. The people who feel calm and grateful when they see their number are the ones who report the biggest, fastest windfalls afterward. Why this isn't just luck. Skeptics will say this is confirmation bias, that we notice the numbers that fit our story and ignore the ones that don't. And to be fair, that's worth sitting with. Nobody teaching this philosophy ever claimed it replaces effort, wise financial decisions, or living within reason. What they claimed, consistently, across decades and completely different personalities and backgrounds, is that your habitual inner state sets the range of what you're able to notice, attract, and accept as possible for yourself. Think about it this way. Two people can receive the exact same unexpected check. One immediately thinks, finally, something good happened for once, bracing for the next disaster. The other thinks, of course, I've been expecting good things, and this confirms it. According to this entire body of teaching, only one of those two people is actually building a stable channel for more of the same to keep flowing in. The other person, even with money in hand, is still vibrating on scarcity, and scarcity always finds a way to empty the account again. That's the real secret hidden behind every lucky number story you've ever heard. The number isn't lucky. The feeling behind it is. Bringing it together. So the next time you glance at a clock, a receipt, a license plate, or a phone number, and you catch that same sequence again, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 777, 888. Don't just snap a screenshot and move on. Pause. Take one slow breath. Silently say thank you, as if the thing you want has already been arranged for 2 seconds, and is simply in transit. The feeling of ease and abundance you practiced the night before. That tiny, repeatable act, practiced consistently, is what generations of teachers in this tradition insist is the actual bridge between the sign and the substance. You are not chasing luck. You are training a muscle. The muscle of expecting good, of feeling wealthy before the evidence arrives, of treating your own mind as the very instrument that shapes your circumstances. If this video shifted even one thing in how you think about the signs around you, do 3 things for me right now. Hit subscribe, so you don't miss the next video where we go even deeper into the specific techniques these teachers used with their own students. Give this video a like, because it genuinely helps this message reach more people who need to hear it today. And leave a comment telling me one number sequence you're going to start watching for starting tonight, paired with the feeling you're going to practice the moment you see it. Your subconscious mind is always listening. The only question is what you're going to feed it tonight. I'll see you in the next one.